All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to have everybody on. Got Boston in the welcome. Everybody on. Eileen Cohn Rackman from New York, welcome. Kanasha Howard, we see you, champ. We got First Sergeant Charlotte Whitaker in the building. Welcome, welcome. Cree, I see you. Miss Linda, good to see you as well. Madison, Wisconsin, checking in. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this live, type live in the chat. Let us know where you're coming in from. If you're watching this on replay, type in replay. We still love to hear from you. Roz Mayo, you know Newport News, Virginia be representing. Roswell, Georgia in the building. Fritz, I see you. Dorothy Ridgway James, good to see you, Miss Dorothy. Ohio in the building. Up Coach Marcus Jones. Baller alert, good to see you, brother. Got the top earners in the building. Sonic Jones and Nakia Ray, courtesy of Snellville, Georgia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Katrina King from Illinois, good to see you. Good to see y'all on here tonight. Stephanie Warren Jenkins, Las Vegas. Man, I love me some Las Vegas. Facts, facts. Whoo, team. Laurie McDonald, my fellow Floridians in the building. Welcome, welcome. Seymour Greenwich Blake, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot to cover tonight. And look what Jessica said. We got testimonials coming in already for the Prosperity Challenge. Jessica Hill says she won the football pool. Okay, yeah, you know, money will come in from everywhere, all kind of places. Some cup runneth over money. And she got a customer today who she gave a sample to and ended up ordering today. Well done. Any other testimonials that happened in the last couple of days? If y'all want to put those in the chat, you can. Tanya Sanders, Long Beach, we see you. Quintina Stone, Lodi, California. Missy McCallum, welcome. All right, Brianna's on her personal page tonight. Good to see you. I don't even know what that means, but welcome. Oh, you got a different. Oh, I saw. Okay, four leaf. I get it now. I get it. Good to see you. Good to see you. Randy Freeman, Sharon Wisdom, Marcellus Mack, Miriam Karim. Shauna says she won $70. Congratulations. I don't care how rich somebody is. They walk past $70 cash money. We picking it up. Guaranteed. Welcome. Valerie from Dallas. Okay. Rick Burnett, Sweet Home, Alabama. Greta Wagner got a $100 check from Elon Musk. Well done. Shocking, but I love it. Good stuff. Easy money. Easy money. Colette says she went to a school fundraiser on Saturday and won 3 times. Ladies and gentlemen, it never gets old. It never gets old. Charlotte said she got 5 public gift cards for the kids from the school. Well done. Y'all, Miss Charlotte be in the community heavy, taking care of business in the community. Margie Collins, welcome. Chicago, Dusab City in the building. Melinda Ann Smith, welcome. Betty Chandler, live from ATL. Jessica Hill in the building. Look, Corey T. Corey said he found a $20 bill at QT. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Easy money, bro. Easy money, man. And Collect got tools, decorations, and soup bowl holders. And this is the thing about abundance, especially during the Prosperity Challenge. Shout out Miss Mimi from Cypress, Texas as well. You're going to get money a lot of times, shockingly, but also you'll be getting stuff that you needed or wanted that you won't have to spend money on. So don't think it's just abundance is not just money. Sometimes it's getting something on sale that you know should have cost more than what it should. I think me and MJ had tickets the first time we looked up the tickets for an event we're going to. The tickets were $500 some a piece. Okay, and it's family, so we needed a couple of them. And and oddly enough, you know, Prosperity Challenge being what it is, within about 3 or 4 minutes, we found the exact same tickets for like $100 some a piece. So we saved like $1,200 today. It was awesome. Eileen says right here, the airline canceled her flight to see her grandkids. That's unfortunate. But she got rebooked by the same airline for $500 less. So she saved $500 and minor inconvenience. I'm sure we'll be back to see those grandbabies soon. Gina Wilson in the building. Newport News. Man, Newport News be representing. We got to get out to Virginia in the DMV area because they representing heavy out that way. Golly. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get started, man. We got paper and pen. Put a 1 in the chat. If you have paper and pen, put a 1 in the chat. if you can hear my audio okay, and we are about to light it up. Kalila says right here, she was given free gas tonight. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It just come out everywhere. God is good, ain't he? Oh my goodness, free. I love free gas. I don't, I ain't got free gas in a minute, but I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Randy Freeman said the Cowboys game. The Cowboys are terrible. Randy, I don't know what you talking about, man. The Cowboys are the worst. We're Raven fans over here. We're Ravens fans, and then occasionally we have a random stray Pittsburgh fan that wanders on to the Facebook Live. We don't know where they come from. These Pittsburgh fans don't even be from Pittsburgh. They ain't never been there, but they be repping. But we're a Baltimore Ravens family over here, Randy, and this year because Lamar Jackson is going to win another MVP, we're going to claim another Super Bowl this year. We have lots of room for bandwagon Baltimore Ravens fans. Y'all come on down. Come hang out with us. Baltimore is about that winning. Lamar Jackson is about that winning. Oh, this is so funny. So look what happened. Look what happened. Yeah, Seymour's right. The Steelers are trash. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys are trash, bro. I agree, man. Colette says she shared her prosperity essential oil, and the lady next to her won free bird seed. I love that. Look, now Corey just gave you something fire. Look what Corey. Oh, my discount tickets to the Cowboys? Oh no, Corey. I ain't never gonna. No, that was not to a Cowboys game. $500 for Cowboys tickets? You crazy? Corey just dropped the gem. Corey said, "Oh," and my wife drove to work tonight without him asking. You know, Corey and Kenya, I love them both. That's my brother and my sister right there. I love them. Oh, we still got the testimonials coming on. Okay, let's see. Greta got 30 years, Pittsburgh. I see you. Okay. Oh, not the Steelers Nation again. Good Lord. Anthony Stone, okay, got a $250 Southwest airline voucher toward our Orlando event ticket. Speaking of which, we will be in Orlando, Florida, February 21st, 22nd, 23rd. It is going to be an event to remember, ladies and gentlemen. We got we have narrowed it down to three venues. I think really we got it narrowed down to two venues, and we should have the venue booked on tomorrow. I'm waiting to hear back from them to see if they accept our proposal, which I'm sure they will. And the good thing is it's going to be in a hotel. And the hotel that we're looking at is about a mile and a half from the airport. So even if you don't have your hotel reservations yet, you can book those tickets while there's still super great prices because the venue is going to be no more than a mile or two from the airport in Orlando, and the airport code is MCO. So we want to make it really convenient for you. The hotels we're looking at do have free complimentary shuttles from I'm pretty sure the one we're going to go with has a free complimentary shuttle from the airport to the hotel. And the event is going to be in the hotel in one of their conference rooms. I'm really excited about that because y'all told me, look, you talked, we listened. We had a great time in Las Vegas because for the first time in a while, the event was in a hotel. So although that typically costs more, we're going to cut the check and we're going to make it work. So we appreciate y'all, everybody coming to hang out. Let's see. Richard Fritzler got a discount on a $500 order and he got a $112 discount. Exactly. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, Jessica Hill, Jessica, all this Pittsburgh stuff. Oh my gosh. Seymour said the Cowboys got 1 star in the helmet for 1 star rating. That is true. That is actually true. All right, discounts on rooms. So this is what happened. Um, with that, we could get a block, Linda, on rooms. I'm gonna tell you why I'm 99.9% not gonna do that because the last time we did that, it was like herding cats. It was so many people trying to book different dates. I'm gonna come in today, fly out this day. People wanted different types of rooms, and then it all falls on me to make sure that's all done. So basically. You're going to be in charge of booking your own stuff. But this is what I will say. If you do book at the hotel, I will ask that you book directly with the hotel and not a third party site. We're going to get to do price match, so you get the same price regardless. But that just shows the hotel, that we are bringing business to the hotel and things of that nature. So that's cool. Early bird ticket prices, we only got like 5 or 6 left, so the price won't matter. The full price is going to be $97. The early bird ticket price is $40. Some people sent $47 and I sent them back $7. Those were both Cash App. So if they check their Cash App, they're still up just 40 bucks. So even if you accidentally sent $47, I know that that's a mistake, and I refunded a couple of people $7 today. Coach Marcus Jones got 3 levels of star bonus today, a $75 bonus, a $150 bonus, and a $200 bonus. I guess dinner is on Coach when we see him. And yeah, the testimony has been coming in for over a week now, and they're amazing. They're just outstanding. So let's dive into the information because we got a ton. My gosh, so much to cover every night of the week. I'm just letting y'all know. I'm glad we got all these recorded and uploaded to YouTube. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel to get the recordings, please do, because I'm probably never gonna do this again. This has been so much information and research and study for y'all. It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, Lucretia David, yeah, $40 for everybody. $40 for online people, yes. $40 for in person, yes. But we only have 4 or 5 of those left. So if you want one of the $40 tickets, get it quick. If you're not one of the first 5 or 6 people to get it, I'm going to, yes, Derek, that's exactly what we plan on doing. Yes, talk to them about that today. Exactly. You're going to be doing on your own, booking through the site, and that's what we're going for. Good call. Where was I at? Oh yeah, but as far as the tickets go, if you do send $40 and you see me send it right back to you, that will let you know that we have no more early bird tickets left. And those are the reason why we have a certain amount, because most of the people booking now are in-person people. And once the room is full to capacity, we can't sell any more tickets. It's just what it is. Anybody who really, really wants to go and does get a $97 ticket, the room that we're getting has additional capacity for more people. So even those will run out after a while. So the online people, y'all are good for now. And you'll see when you get your ticket and you ask for access to the group. We have a Facebook group, so we'll drop the link in that. Maybe Coach Marcus can drop the link in that group in here. The Facebook group has several questions to get into the Orlando group. If you don't answer the questions, you will not get into the group, and that's where the live stream is going to be. And one of the questions is, do you plan on attending live or in person? So we need those numbers. Please get those tickets out of here so we can get to work. All right, here we go. Quick point. We gave you a great point about blue light glasses and radiation and stuff last call. I'm gonna give you a life hack right now that a lot of you may or may not be aware of. How many people can name for me uh, brands of water that you see at the store? Let's see how many people can name a couple different brands of water that you see at the store. There's one brand I'm looking to see, 2 brands I'm really looking to see. Let me see who's familiar with different brands of water that you get at the store. And while you're typing in the different types of brands that you heard of, once I see the 2 I'm looking for, I'll let you know. Okay. And the reason why we're talking about this is we've been learning so much about water. You can put in as many brands as you want in your comment. I see Fiji. I love Fiji. It's delicious. Aquafina. Yep, I don't drink Aquafina, but it's there. Deer Park, Solid, Dasani. Terrible brand, but very well known. I don't want y'all drinking Dasani. Smart Water, Kara Thomas. Well done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Marcus just dropped a link in the group. Dasani, yep, Eileen saw Dasani. Poland Springs, I've had Poland Springs a couple of times. Y'all keep it going. Waikia, yep. Oh, look, Kanasha got that money. She got that money. She's getting that imported Hawaiian water. I see you. Ice Mountain, yep. Crystal Blue, yep. Life Water, all good brands. Okay, I'm gonna give it 10 more seconds. We'll see if anybody gets the brand I'm looking for. Zephyr Hills, love it, love it. Alkaline Water, banging. Thank you, Kenya. That's a good one. Ozarka, Ozarka, Crystal Geyser. Yep, bought plenty of those. Bought plenty of those. Now that I got the Berkey water filter, I don't get a lot of those. Kirkland, been there. Kalila, yep, been there. Evian, Eileen got that money. Eileen said Evian. Eileen got that money. Deer Park, yep. Nestle, Mountain Spring, Voss, Derek got that money. He drinking Voss out the glass bottle. Okay. Well, here's a brand, and I'm gonna give it to you right now. And I never want you to drink this brand ever. I'm putting it on my list right now. We don't recommend drinking Aquafina. Aquafina. We don't recommend drinking Nestle. We don't recommend drinking those particular brands that have fluoride in them for that reason. The steam distilled water, the spring waters are just going to be a lot better for you if you don't have a special filter. Belinda Ann say Perrier. She got that money. Travis said Mountain Valley Spring Water, Arrowhead, been there, Tanya, as well. Ladies and gentlemen, apparently there's a brand out now called Liquid Death. There's a brand. I was at a music festival slash concert and I saw a bunch of people drinking this water in a can. It's called Liquid Death. Nobody mentioned that one, but I'm pretty sure you've seen it. Black water, love black water. Yeah, it's a delicious one. I saw that last time I was in Dallas. How many people have seen that brand Liquid Death? Okay, with the can, super popular. It is popping up at a lot of different places. We're putting that on our list of waters not to drink. Not because the water isn't necessarily, got bad stuff in it, but because we know about Dr. Masaru Emoto's, research and studies in science that when you put words, even if you put tape over water and write a word on it, it's going to change the chemical molecular structure of the water. Now, if that concept is new to you, you need to go back and watch the previous video so you can get educated. No, it's not they might have a caffeinated version, caffeinated water. I'm not sure. But don't be drinking nothing with Liquid Death on the can, ladies and gentlemen. That the molecular structure of that water is going to be absolutely terrible for your body. We know that because of science. Okay, yeah, we know that because of science. We don't do none of that. And yeah, it's everywhere now. It's popping up everywhere. They are pushing this Liquid Death, and we don't look. You might just drop dead drinking it. We don't want no part of that. But yeah, a lot of y'all have seen it. I saw it and was like, that's crazy. We not drinking that stuff. And yeah, I'm like Rick. If we out of town, we'll drink bottled water. But other than that, we going with the Berkey water filters. Yeah, Liquid Death. Don't drink it. It's popping up everywhere. Don't do it. And that's only because of science. It's not some strange woo woo, whatever, whatever. Yeah, same thing with Monster Energy drinks. Don't do it. Even if the energy drink was 100% organic, which it's not, the fact that that is on the Nakia, tell them there is power in a name. Okay, 100 names and words are so important. God made a habit in the Bible of changing people's name just cause. I don't even like your name. It's not representative of the destiny I want for you. Change your name like that. And we know that when Dr. Emoto was doing those studies, they were not just speaking to water and playing music for water. Gina, you're right. If you're gonna drink purified water, you may as well drink right out the tap. Facts, facts. And they took tape, put it on water, wrote words on the tape, and the molecular structure, yeah, well water for sure. And the molecular structure of the water changed, some negative, some good. So you gotta remember that your body is 60, 70% water, and it's very, very programmable. And the words don't even have to be spoken. They can be written. It is wild, okay? Wild. All right. So we're moving on. Here come the information, and we're going to drop it today. That was just a little tip. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have talked exhaustively over the last 7 or 8 days about the law of vibration. We've talked about how motion, sound, heat, light, ultraviolet light, radiation, liquids, solids, and even gases are all the same material atomically, but all at different rates of vibration. We're not going to go back over that. You can go back and watch the previous video about the scientific side of this thing. Now, we also discussed how your thoughts, which are basically mental vibrations that you control, are the highest rates of vibration. And the closer a thought is to joy or love or gratitude, the higher the frequency, the faster it moves. The higher the vibration, the faster it's vibrating. Okay. Now we know that. Now, all the information we know about vibration, physics, motion, sound, heat, light, even water, public education will probably not make this shift in our lifetimes. I hope so, but this information is probably not going to get into the hands of any generations unless we do it. No other business model other than network marketing does personal development education at the level that we do, and no other company does it as good as we do it, obviously, which is why the personal development an educational component of multi-level marketing network marketing is just as valuable as the products in the pay plan. Okay, the information that you receive is far superior to a $40,000 college education. Those of us who have degrees, and I got 2 different degrees, I even have a doctorate, I can tell you the information I've learned from people in this industry and just the habits I've developed about learning and research are far superior. Okay, far superior. Um, I told us one time, doesn't that go to Sana means to teach health? I have never said that the word go to Sana teaches health. We do a lot of that here, but that's her idea behind her own herbal business. Oh, yeah. Well, Go Dasana as a company, all the green organics companies and HBN, we do intentionally teach health. We teach personal development. But as far as the name means, no, honestly, I've talked about that many days. The name Go Dasana, just like HB and all these other network marketing company names, could be literally anything. It could be the Acme Network Marketing Company, and we'd still be here. Yeah. But that being said, let's dive into just a little bit more as we shift. We got any Bible, any Bible readers on it? Y'all gonna have a blast later on in this call. Where my Bible readers at? Doesn't matter to me if you're a believer, a Christian or not, as I am. But you can't deny the Bible is the number one book in the history of the world as far as sales. It's that powerful. Oh, there it is. My bad. Marcus said that. Okay, my fault. Coach Marcus said that. Yeah, thank you, Bree. We got it. Yeah. Go to Sound means to teach health. I love that. Thank you. See, I learned something new. Here we go. Learn something new. Love that. Love that. All right, here we go. Now, and I'm gonna get to that in this. I'm gonna get to our Bible lesson for the evening in a minute. But right now, let's talk about this. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no compartmentalization with vibration. And I'm going to say that again, and then I'm going to explain it. There is no compartmentalization, okay? You cannot compartmentalize vibration, all right? Additionally, there is no compartmentalization of your mind. You cannot compartmentalize it. That's actually a fiction as far as you compartmentalize. Well, I'm going to just kind of put this over here. Let me explain, okay? If you're feeling indifferent, okay, Coach Sonic taught the name of Coach. Love it. Look, I'm learning from everybody right now. Love it. Thank you, Coach Sonic. I had no idea. Okay. Now, when I say there's no compartmentalization in the mind, I mean if you feel inferior in one area of your life, okay, you're most likely feeling inferior in your business, even on a subconscious level. Okay. Oh, well, I'm confident. I know I'm a win. That's your conscious mind talking again, Bobby. Your subconscious mind doesn't speak in words like that. It doesn't have a mouth to access like that. Your subconscious mind speaks in terms of mental vibration, and your subconscious mind is cranking out mental vibration 24 hours a day, even while you sleep. This is why you dream, because your subconscious mind never turns off, okay? It can't turn off, because if it turned off, uh, all the body processes like breathing, like your heart beating, like your excretory systems and whatnot, all of that is run by your subconscious mind. It's 95% of your brain. And that 95% of your brain governs all the important stuff like hair growth, immune support, and things of that nature. Okay. So your subconscious mind is always cranking out vibration, even while you're sleeping. Your conscious mind can take a rest. That's the part of your brain that you're using to pay attention to me right now. But that is not, quote unquote, the more important part of your brain. That's only 5%. The 95% is the subconscious mind. And if you're feeling inferior in one area of your life, you are most likely feeling inferior in your business. Okay. That's why we often say things like if you're overweight, you will always be underpaid. That's not a knock for our friends who are all on weight loss journeys, especially with our company. We're just letting you know that that particular type of thing, uh, if you're feeling a certain way about yourself and your confidence in one area of your life, it's going to flow over into your business. It's going to flow over into your bank account. It's going to flow over into your personal relationships for sure. Someone asked Sir Richard Branson once, they asked him what was the secret to his success and what advice could he give to young entrepreneur. And it took this guy years, I think it was, I mentioned this on a previous call, to finally get a meeting with Richard Branson. And Richard Branson gave him a 2-word answer on what he should do to get his business to the next level. And Richard Branson said, work out. He gave him 2 words and then sent him on his way. He said, work out. And if you notice, Richard Branson's very, very fit. A lot of people, you just don't see a whole lot of super ultra successful people financially who are really, really obese in those areas. They just have a certain level of discipline where just, no, we're not going to eat the cake. It's just what it is. Coach Marcus works out every single day. So if Richard Branson could give you one piece of advice that will positively affect your business and your life, it would be to work out. That's not a judgment call. That's stuff that everybody knows we should be doing, even when we don't. Now, that being said, you can't really compartmentalize any of this stuff. And you're going, and if you want to get your business right, and the easy, well, people telling me no, one of the things you can do is get your body right using these products, working out, things of that nature, and you'll see a direct correlation to that. You often see it in terms of what I call transferred confidence, where if someone's a professional athlete, for example, they'll be more confident in other areas that have nothing to do with that. I remember when I got my black belt for the first time. I remember my black belt, and I just felt different. You know, big ceremony at the dojo and everything, like boom, you know, jiu-jitsu black belt, blah blah blah. And I don't know, I just felt really confident after that. Like I was already confident, but it went from here to here, and that confidence started spilling over into other areas of my life. It was the weirdest thing. And when people join the company, when they join you, what they're doing is they're not buying the product. They haven't never had it yet. They're not buying the pay plan. They've never made any money. They haven't even joined yet. They've never cashed a check. So they don't know that the products are life changing. They don't know that the checks cash every single time. They're buying you. They're buying your confidence and your posture and what it is you're doing. That's what leadership is all about, influence and motivation. Okay. Now, when you're feeling inferior in one area of your life, especially if it's subconscious, your vibration is that of inferiority. And you're only going to attract two types of people when you're operating in that down and out vibration, which is why self-care is so important. This is why it's important to hang out with positive people. Is because when you feel an inferior on a subconscious level, you're only going to attract two types of people: other people who feel inferior, and those people think they'll never win. So they probably won't even join. If they do join, they're going to quit. They're going to be like, why try? And this is all subconscious. They're not even conscious that they're acting like this. And you're going to attract those type of people. Okay. The other type of people you'll attract if you have an inferiority complex on a subconscious level, you're going to attract people who make you feel even more inferior, even either on accident or on purpose. That's the only type of people you can ever attract in your life that are going to stay, are people who match your vibration. It's what it is. All right. So many verses on that, but we'll get to those in a second. Now, your mind really can't do anything else other than think. Okay. It can think. It can think on a conscious level, and it's always going to be thinking on a subconscious level. But those two things, conscious and subconscious thought, are more than enough to create the life of prosperity, abundance, health, and positive relationships. And again, in the previous day's recordings, we have gone through how that statement is accurate scientifically, spiritually, and scripturally. So we're not going to recover all that. And in fact, your thoughts are so powerful, as we discussed yesterday and the day before, that scientifically, your thoughts, just your intention, okay, what you expect to happen, can literally change the molecular structure of water. And so many things on this planet, okay, water is the most abundant resource on the planet. But again, water is the most abundant thing within you. All human beings are 60, 70% water, and your brain is 73% water. Your heart is 70 some percent water. Your bones are between 20 and 30 some percent water. You can change your entire physiology through the power of your thought. And that's scientific stuff. But does the Bible not say, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he? Does the Bible not say, according to your faith, shall it be done unto you? Okay, these are all things that are spiritual concepts scripturally that have been known for thousands of years. But science, because of the work from people like Dr. Bruce Lipton and Dr. Masaru Emoto and many others, science has finally caught up. Science is actually very slow in comparison to scripture and spirituality. Science is finally catching up. Thank goodness. Shout out for science for finally starting to get on the same page. Now, the stuff we're going to talk about tonight, I'm going to tell you, there is a level that is going to take some time for you to mentally accept. And let me explain why some of the concepts that we teach and that we talk about may seem strange to you at first. But when you watch these recordings again, you see these amazing things happening in your life. You watch these recordings again, you know, in 8 or 9 weeks from now, a year from now, it's going to hit way different. It's going to make a lot more sense. Kind of like when you read a book for the first time and like, okay, then you happen for some reason to read the same book 2, 3 years later, 10 years later, and it just seems different. Like you're reading it going, was that even in here before? Because I never noticed that. That's why we recommend what is repeated is remembered, and what is remembered is repeated, so you can repeat this information, okay? So the things that we're talking about, Sometimes for some of you, the first time we make these statements, you do not have a brain cell with the vibratory capacity to process that information. But once you get that information the first, second, third, fourth, fifth time, the brain cells will start to change and develop, okay, to accept and understand, to process this information. It's like the first time you go to algebra class and you see A plus B equals C, and you don't know what that even means, but a couple of weeks or months of seeing that type of stuff over and over again, you can look at A plus B equals C now, and you would know that that is equivalent, equal to 1 plus 2 equals 3. You know that because you've seen it. It doesn't look like a foreign language anymore. A plus B equals C is something very simple. But when you first saw it, you're like, oh, okay. Now your brain has to develop brain cells that have the ability to process certain types of information. This is how people learn language, okay? And this information is no different. So you feel like the next steps are going to be something. We're going to be talking about some different things. And I will tell you this, based on demand and other stuff, in 2025 at some point, we're going to be doing a Bible-based personal development class. All right. And this is not for everybody, extremely limited availability. And because of the demand. And two, the reason why we keep the availability limited is because what you're going to learn, similar to the stuff on tonight that you're getting for the lean mean price of free 99, the stuff that you learn when it's a Bible-based personal development class, at least one that I teach, you're going to learn information that is 5,000 years old. You're going to learn scientific techniques to having your prayers answered. Kid you not. You're going to learn that information, a lot of it for the first time. Okay. And that information can never be taken away from you. It can never be taken away. You'll never forget it. It can never be taken away from you. And I taught that class a long time ago, probably 8 or 9 years ago, easy. And I got to tell you that some of those people took that information and used it for really good things to, really bless their life and get their prayers answered. And other people use those principles and the techniques. These are all scriptural based. It's incredible to me anyway. They use it for not good stuff. I come to find out. And I had to deal with a lot of guilt about that. I'm being very transparent. I had to live with a lot of guilt about the things these people are doing because they learned incredible information that I mean, and I was like, well, how on earth, I really had to pray about this. Like, how on earth were these people able to learn this information and then use it for, like, just greed and just not the right purposes, manipulation and things like that. And once you learn how to knock on the door and get God to answer, I'm gonna tell you, you'll understand the verse that says in Acts chapter 10, when Peter said, "It is true that I perceive that God is no respecter of persons." Once you really know it, and at the levels that we'll teach it, well, I'll do the class one more time, never again. And God's no respecter of persons. It's hard. It was hard for me to accept that, but I did. It also said, the book of Isaiah chapter 45. This is a wild one. I'll make this make sense for you next year in the class. The book of prophet Isaiah. This is what God said. He said, "Concerning the work of my hands, command ye me." It's the only verse in the whole Bible where God literally says, "Tell me what to do." And I'll give you I'll give you the literal translation from the Hebrew. I'll give you the literal translation from Isaiah chapter 45, verse 11. It says, "Thus says the Lord, the Holy One of Israel and its Maker. Ask me of things to come concerning my sons, and concerning the work of my hands, command me." It's the only verse you see in the whole Bible. God is literally telling people, hey, tell me what to do. When you really understand, it's not that simple. You got to unpack that verse, obviously. But when you unpack it and you learn the techniques of prayer behind that particular verse, it unlocks a whole new level of life for you. You can never take it away. It'll change your life forever. And I haven't taught that class in probably close to a decade for that reason. Just haven't really reconciled within myself that everybody ain't good people, So that's that. Let's get back on track, and we'll deal with that in 2025. All right. But let's get back on track. Now to the power of your thoughts. Your thoughts are more than enough. They're more than enough to create the life you desire. And we've already given you a scientific key on how that works and why it works. So go back and watch the videos. Tonight we're going to give you the spiritual key for how that works. Okay. And then tomorrow I'm going to give you a secular key so that you can really understand that the science of spirituality, they're not different in that way. And the secular world is spiritual and scientific, even if they don't want to admit that. Even in the secular world, they are not immune to science or spirituality in any capacity. Even if they think they are, they're just not. And they're all the same. And God is everything, and there's nothing that God is not. Just understand that. And I can prove that for you mathematically and scientifically. But for now, just take it on faith, because we don't want to be on Facebook Live for 3 hours or 4 or more. We don't want to do that. Now, we talked about the law of vibration tonight and yesterday and the day before and the day before. And we're going to touch on the law of circulation right now. We haven't talked about it yet this week. We're going to talk about the law of circulation to prep you for tomorrow's class and things of that nature. Now, the law of circulation simply states you cannot give without receiving, and you cannot receive without giving. It just won't work. It never works. And that'll happen on different phases of your life. And the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 38 says this. It says, give and it will be given to you. Press down, good measure. Everybody knows the verse, right? But in the beginning of that verse, it says, give and it will be given to you. It doesn't say give or it will be given to you. Give and it will be given to you. And giving comes first. The law of circulation first starts with giving. In fact, you can't even take a breath without giving a breath first. You have to exhale before you inhale. There is nothing. Ralph Alexander, you in Crestview? Bro, we dang near neighbors. I did not know that. Ralph Alexander, hit me up on Facebook, man. I got to see what you. Ralph, who sponsored you? Look, who even got you in business, Ralph? All right, so it says give and it will be given to you. Okay, like turn the light switch on and then the light will come on. Give, then it's going to be given. Another verse from Proverbs, okay, chapter 11 says, one person gives freely, yet gains even more. Another withholds unduly, but comes to poverty. A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. Okay? And it says right there, a generous person will prosper. It doesn't say a generous person might prosper. A generous person could prosper. The scripture there is referencing the scientific law that the most giving people, listen, even when the people ain't good. I am not a Bill Gates fan by any capacity. Let me be very clear. I've never met the man, but based on what I've read or researched about his policies and his worldview, I don't really care for him based on that stuff that I read. Might change if I ever met him, but I don't really think he's a good dude like that. He still makes so much money. They are one of the largest givers and donations to places all around the world with billions of dollars to charities. And the dude still makes so much money, he can't even spend it all. It was the same thing for Andrew Carnegie, who was an amazingly good human from what I researched and what I read about Andrew Carnegie. He gave just hundreds of millions of dollars and stuff away. And he had so much money, he couldn't even spend it. Lived in a castle. How many people want to live in a castle? Lived in Skibo Castle. How many people want to just go buy a whole castle, just live in that, just because why not, right? But he gave so much. So it's the law of circulation. You really can't beat it. And let me unpack Proverbs a little bit more, because Proverbs is the wisdom book for the Bible. One person gives freely. Okay, your blessings are in the giving. Boy, Nikki, you read my mind. We are going to double right back to that. It says one person gives freely, yet gains even more. As in, when people give, a lot of times you have a mentality that says, I'm going to give, but you have this inner subconscious limiting belief, an automatic negative thought that says, when I give, I'm taking something away from me. I'm not going to get something back. So that word yet have to be there, because the Bible understands that human nature means that people give freely, yet will gain even more. So you do need to understand that when you give, a generous person will prosper. It will come back to you and it'll be magnified, because there are several blessings attached to the art of giving. And we'll talk about that. Okay. Then the Bible says right here a little bit later, another withholds unduly, but comes to poverty. And you see the word but. This is very important, because when you see it, some people, they're supposed to be giving money to people. The Bible says, pay the worker what is due. If you owe somebody something, or if somebody won a contest, you notice me and Coach Marcus always pay people when we got a contest. You're supposed to. You can't withhold nothing. Some people be withholding. They greedy. They stingy. They be trying to just the bare minimum of what they can do. The bare minimum of giving, even when they owe somebody, it's the bare minimum. And they think that that's going to help them have more money, more wealth, more abundance. It doesn't. The Bible says right there in Proverbs, it says another person withholds unduly, but comes to poverty. Like, but they're gonna be broke anyway, is what it's saying. So one person gives freely and they can give as much as they want to give, they still gonna have abundance and wealth. Another person is stingy, they be holding back, keeping everything from people, don't want to sow nothing, and that person gonna be broke anyway. Okay, it's just it is a scientific law of circulation, but it is also the same way with spirituality. Nakia says right there, if your hand is closed, how can you receive? Amen to that. That's exactly the principle right there. And right here, Coach Marcus said he was given the opportunity today to pay someone's electricity, cable, and internet bill. Paid it today without hesitation. That's exactly why that young man is a multimillionaire. They're one of the most giving, two of the most giving people I've ever, three, the most giving people I've ever met. MJ for sure, Coach Marcus for sure, and Paula Scarcella for sure. They just are super giving people, and yeah, just it's just what it is. Okay, another verse, and I'm just going to really drive this point home. You understand it scientifically, you understand it secularly, you understand in your real life that the most giving people are the most prosperous people. It says right here in Second Corinthians chapter 9, remember this. And it starts the verse off with remember this because we forget stuff, right? It says, remember this, whoever sows sparingly will reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously. Okay? Each of you should, doesn't say have to. So you don't have to give, but you're going to reap. Notice it says, whoever sows generously will reap generously. Whoever sows sparingly will reap sparingly. But it says, it doesn't say each of you will give. It doesn't say each of you must give. It then says, now that you know the law, because it gave you the law, sow generous, reap generous. Sow sparing, reap sparing. Be greedy, be stingy, get stingy. It says right here, each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion. Okay, for God loves a cheerful giver. The vibration of cheer is very, very high. Okay, yeah, we got a lot of great givers in our chat, and I love to see those testimonies as well. Now, keep in mind the reason it says each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give. It's not referring to your heart, the organ that pumps blood. It's not referring to the organ of the heart, which does actually, according to some amazing research, have the capacity to think in certain ways. It really does. But it says you should give in your heart. It means your subconscious mind. So a lot of people are stingy givers. They be holding money back from people. I'm supposed to pay this person, but I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna just hold on to it. They get like that. That's a subconscious limiting belief in their heart, in their subconscious mind that prevents them from giving and understanding abundance. Now, with that in mind, there are states of awareness of your finances. Okay, states of awareness of your finances. You can write these down. There is going to be crisis, survival, existing, thriving, and giving. Okay, crisis, survival, existing, thriving, and giving. Now, the crisis mindset, which some people are in, we've all been there. I have been there before. It's like an emergency situation where you don't have no choice. It's like if your car is literally getting towed and you running out there with the check, you know what I'm saying? That's crisis. If you have no, the water done got turned off at your house, you can't think of nothing else but getting the water turned back on so you can flush the toilet. It's crisis. If you're homeless, and I've been homeless not once, but two times, and I always pray it'll never happen again. Been homeless two times. When you're homeless and it start raining, all you can do, you're in crisis mode. You gotta eat and you gotta get somewhere dry. That is the only. There ain't nothing else you even concerned about. You ain't worried about tithing. You ain't worried about getting on these Zoom. You ain't worried about nothing. Crisis is crisis, and we've all been there. Now, most people do not spend their entire life in crisis, thank God. But once you understand crisis, you can get out to survival, which is the next level. And survival is still going to be very, very stressful, but at least you can sleep kind of because you're not actively in the moment trying to eliminate an emergency situation. Crisis is still going to be the crisis mindset of finance is still going to be characterized by intense stress or fear or panic. and usually by either a perceived threat or a real threat, but it's not immediate. Like crisis is immediate, okay? In that state, your thinking, which creates your reality, your thinking can become narrow and very, very reactive. Okay. And the mind is going to focus on like survival and overcoming danger and eating, like just the bare minimums is what the survival mindset. And it's associated with the fight or flight response in the body, which can give you a heart attack actually. And the people in the crisis mindset, the people in the survival mindset can feel overwhelmed, anxious, unable to think beyond the next day, the living check to check in the survival mindset. And the survival mindset is really just about getting by, just getting by, man. It's the real deal. It's scarcity thinking where your mental energy, your mental current, okay, is spent managing limited resources, robbing the Peter to pay Paul. You ever heard that? That's a survival mindset. Ooh, I'm gonna pay this bill a day. I'm gonna let this one be late, and I'm gonna pay that. That's all survival mindset. Okay. Now, and the people in that state, their thoughts are saying that your life is determined by external circumstances, and it's better than a crisis mindset, but it's still focused on security and safety rather than personal growth or long-term fulfillment. The survival mindset causes PTSD. The crisis mindset can cause PTSD, and PTSD is going to, because of the law of circulation, create the survival mindset. Now, the next one is the existing mindset. Now, most people, fortunately, or at least in the existing mindset. This is right in the middle. This is level 3, right in the middle. We had 5, 4. Now this is 3. And this is when people really aren't struggling, okay? But they're not actively pursuing any goals. They feel kind of apathetic. They feel resigned. They feel uninspired. And that function is really a comfort zone thing. Comfort zone people are just existing, and they're not going to strive for much beyond the current situation. And that mindset can be accompanied by feelings of boredom. Okay. As well as a reluctance or change to grow. My 70 percenters are usually somewhere within levels 5, 4, and 3. They're either in survival, existing, or thriving. And then the next level, let me see, we got a testimonial right here from Shauna. Uh, Yep, Shauna said she was at the street. She just felt compelled by the Holy Spirit to turn around and give the panhandler money. Good call for you. Went back, U-turned, caught up with her, and gave her what she had in. Yeah, if you just feel it on your heart to give something, do it. If you don't, though, then don't. Don't feel compelled. Shauna just felt it was right in her spirit, and spiritually speaking, she made the right call. Well done. And now, then you're going to move on to the thriving mindset. Thriving mindset is super fun. It's so fun. It's easy to get stuck in a thriving mindset, and it's going to be positive, proactive. It's going to be growth oriented. Underline that word. It is growth oriented. And in the thriving mindset, people pursue goals. They're open to challenges. They have a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. They feel resilient. They feel resourceful. They're far happier than the crisis, survival, or existing people. They're focused on possibilities, personal development. The people in a thriving mindset are generally engaged in life, and they're focused on achieving their potential and purpose. But it's easy to get stuck there because it's so fun. There is one level above that, and the one level above that, and you don't have to rush out of the thriving mindset to go into the giving mindset. But once you do get to a certain level, you will feel inclined to go to the giving mindset. And that mindset is going to be rooted in compassion. It's rooted in empathy. It's rooted in a desire to contribute to other people. Let's see, I need a cord. I need a laptop cord. I hope the laptop doesn't die. I need a cord. Got to go find a cord. All right. I don't know if MJ's watching this. Babe, I need a cord. All right. A giving mindset is rooted in compassion, empathy, desire to contribute to others. It's often linked to gratitude and a sense of interconnectedness, all is one. And people with a giving mindset experience fulfillment through helping others and sharing not just their resources, but their talents, their knowledge, their time, their abilities, their effort, okay? And they tend to feel super abundant, so much so that by giving, they're only going to get more. They'll never run out of stuff to give, and they create more for themselves than others. This is going to be the mindset that supports well-being. This is scientifically proven, and this also gives feelings of happiness as well, giving. So everybody's in one of these areas. I highly recommend. You don't have to jump exactly from crisis or survival right to thriving or giving. You just kind of can move one at a time and be smart. You don't give what you don't have. You're kind of smart and move up one and one and one. Okay. Now, It's hard to pretend to thrive when you're focused on survival. I can tell you that. You don't even need to try to jump up that many levels. And it's exceptionally difficult to focus on giving when you're in a financial crisis, like I just said. But what if the reason it's difficult to focus, the reason you're in a financial crisis is because you've never really given. You have nothing saved up in the universal bank of God's abundance, okay? And remember the law of circulation. Give, receive, they are both necessary. Okay, they're both necessary. Now we're going to move on to a verse in Acts. Let me see what battery life we had. Hold on. Oh man, we on 8%. We hurting right now. We got to hurry up. We hurting. It says right here, in the book of Acts, chapter 20, verse 35, and this is literally the later part of the verse. It quotes the words. It says right here, remembering the words the Lord Jesus himself said, it is more blessed to give than to receive. Okay. And notice the verse didn't say it is blessed to give. It is said more blessed. Okay, more blessed. There's a special extra, there's more blessing than just regular heaped on top of giving. You got to get what you gave back, but you got to get even more. And there's a special blessing attached to giving, the more blessing. Okay, the blessing of more than enough is attached to giving, because if there wasn't extra there, we so greedy as human beings, everybody would be looking to receive first and would nothing get done. So God knew his children. He knew we just got to kind of grow into the people we need to become. And so there's a special blessing attached to giving. It's phenomenal. And it says right here, I never want you to forget this, because we talk a lot about what we do and what we're giving. But here's the thing, Proverbs chapter 10:22, never forget this. The blessings, plural, the blessings of the Lord maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it. It says blessings. It's referring again to blessings, plural. There are different types of blessings in the Bible. The one from Acts in that particular verse is the more than enough blessing. It's one of my favorite. Now, that being said, we're going to move on to chapter Luke, verse 6:38. And this was good stuff. And it says, give and it will be given to you. Now we know that, but look at what it says again. The element of time is involved. And I want to repeat that just to make that point. The element of time is involved. Okay, so you give first, then it's given. To think anything else is like, Earl Nightingale told this story where someone wanted to receive without giving, and they said, it's as if they were talking to a wooden stove and telling the wooden stove, the heater, the wooden stove, you give me heat first and I'll give you wood second. It doesn't work that way. Everything is dictated by cause and effect. That is the law of causation. You can write that down. We'll talk about it another day. Now, remember, giving and money doesn't necessarily it doesn't always mean money. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And money didn't always exist in its current form. So sometimes it's your time, your knowledge, your effort, your attention. A lot of these things can be used in place of currency. Okay. Your children, a lot of times, don't need money. They can't go out and buy things. They're babies, but you got to give them your attention. And attention, again, is a currency. Okay. And a lot of times, unfortunately, what people think is giving to others is really giving to themselves, because they're doing it either for attention or they're doing it with inferior motive. I had somebody say something like, "Oh, and I'm giving. I got my auto ship on, and my sponsor get paid from that." You are buying a product, sir. You are simply getting a product so you can be healthy. Stop trying to think that with the little paltry money, these little $100 auto ships. Look, some of y'all got 5 BV auto ships. Please don't think that is. Stop it. We are referring to giving for the sake of giving, where you're not getting nothing back. We're not talking about you going to buy from Target or buy from Walmart. People buy from a network marketing company, think that they doing the sponsor a favor. The sponsor trying to help you, trying to get you healthy and teach you how to make money. It's crazy, crazy. All right, but with the proper mindsets in mind, let's unlock something for some of you. Yes, I do need a power cord. Yes, yes. Jessica, get on her, because she don't hear me. Maybe she'll listen to you. Now, with the proper mindsets in mind, let us unlock something for some of you a second time. And a lot of you, this is going to be the first time you ever heard this. And it might take you some time to process it. But if you've heard it before, it's going to hit just a little bit different tonight. Okay. Oh, thanks, Bet. Good looking out. That's a real one. That's a real one. All right. Now, with the proper mindsets in mind, let's move on. Now, remember in days 2 and 3, we talked about different laws of biblical interpretation. And we talked about the law of contextual accuracy. You got to know what the words mean when they mean. And they have to, if a verse is ever confusing, if a verse ever throws you off, it's not the verse, it's your lack of understanding about how to properly interpret it. Okay. And I'm going to give you some verses right now. We got a couple. These are what I would call weird. These are very strange. These very strange verses. They threw me off before I really decided to study and become somewhat of a scholar of the scripture. But I'm gonna read them to you now. For some of you, they're gonna make no sense. For some of you who I've talked to you before, they'll make perfect sense. But even if they don't make sense for you now, they will make sense in a few minutes. Okay. So this first verse comes from Proverbs chapter 9, verse 10. It's one of them verses that a lot of times pastors just ignore it because they haven't even gone to the level of understanding yet. But the Bible does say in the New Testament, in the last days, you will not need any man to teach you, but the Holy Spirit will pour out upon all flesh. And so you don't even need me to teach you any of this stuff. You could just go read it yourself, and a lot of this stuff it'll reveal itself to you. But some of you still have jobs and you don't have time to read. I get that. But this is going to be Proverbs 9:10, and this is going to say, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. And I've never been a fan of the word, the fear of the Lord. I'm not scared of Jesus. I love him dearly. I don't understand. I've never really understood that, didn't agree with it. I knew that because I didn't like that verse, it was something within me that I was not understanding properly about the verse. There was nothing wrong with the verse, obviously. And but it says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Saying a lot, and we can kind of accept that. I'm just not a fan of being scared of the person who gave his life for me. That's crazy. But it also says here, Proverbs chapter 10, verse 27, the fear of the Lord prolongs days. Now, see right there, Greta says it means respect. And I'm going to say no. That's a lot of ways when you look at the original text and interpretation, we've written it off to mean respect. If it wanted to say respect, it would say the respect of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, but it doesn't. And no translation does it says that. Why? Because that's not what it means. It's simply not. That's not what it means at all. But you will understand why it makes sense a little bit later. But I like the fact that you think it means respect. We all did, because we were all trying to just find some type of way where it would be like, it's got to mean that because nothing else will make sense. They must have meant respect. No, respect's a different word, kind of like it says honor. Honor thy mother and father is more of a term that the Bible would use for respect. And it would say the honor of the Lord would be the beginning of wisdom. In fact, if it said respect, it says that the fear of the Lord prolongs days. No. If it was talking about respect or honor, it would say that if you honor thy mother and father, that their days may be longer. So no, it's two totally different words. It's not respect. It's not even awe. Because when the Bible, can you plug that up? I need I need the laptop cord. Not so. Thank you, sweetie. Yeah, it's not even awe. When the Bible wants to say awe, it's going to say awe. It's going to say wonder. It's going to tell you that. So the correct word is actually fear, but we're focusing on the wrong word in the verse. But I'll help you with that. Man, your eyes are going to be open tonight. And yes, Dorothy, it was taught that way 100% because a lot of our pastors, I love them to death, they didn't know any better. But we're gonna solve it tonight, and we're going to make it make sense with as far as essential oils and money, and we're going to tie it all together. Don't worry, okay? So next up, maybe I think that one, you know what? That heater has an extension cord on it that goes outside that heater thing, and we can run that one to that with a sink, and I can put that on there too for the light. Thank you. All right. So let me give you another one, and it says right here from Proverbs chapter 14, verse 26. Yeah, I'm okay with fear too, but it'll make sense. It says right here, in the fear of the Lord is strong confidence. Okay. In the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. I have never in the history of my life in understanding King James, bless his heart, the English lexicon, to ever understand the words fear and confidence being in the same sentence. They are in fact direct opposites. They are in fact direct opposites. How can you be confident in something you're scared of it? That doesn't make any sense. It's illogical. But it's not the verse that's the problem. It's our interpretation of it, but I will fix that shortly. Next up, my favorite, because this one really drove it home for me, and maybe it'll drive it home for you. This one really is about the law of mind, which we'll talk about the 5,000-year-old principle. From the book of Job, chapter 3, verse 25, we see the word fear again. And this is how you know the Bible means the word fear, because it's going to be consistent. It says right here, Job chapter 3, verse 25, for the thing which I greatly feared is come upon me, and that which I was afraid of has come unto me. Okay, so fear was really, really a thing for Job, that when he was scared of some type of things that was negative, what ended up happening was the negative things he was scared of manifested themselves in their physical reality. And that was very, very, thank you so much, sweetie. Oh yeah, take the, and then take that one off, put the other one back on. Yeah, for that, light. Let me see. One second, folks, trying to get the laptop powered up. My bad. Is it, wait, nope, don't leave yet. What's the, is this the right one? I think we good. Oh, cooking with get, yeah. Y'all send MJ some love in the chat. She just saved the day with the laptop because we was going down, we was crashing and burning fast, y'all. We was crashing and burning. All right. So Job said that for the thing that I feared is come upon me, and that which I wait a minute, and that what I and that what I was afraid of to come unto me. And the last couple we'll go through these last ones just a little bit quicker. Oh, she gonna be mad. What if I need a phone charger too? She about to be so mad. I need a phone charger too. I'm so sorry. Oh man, I tell you what. Oh, that's so funny. Is this? Yeah, I need it plugged up to something over. I'm sorry. I need, I need it plugged up. Oh man, I'm striking out. Oh man. All right. I'm going to buy flowers tomorrow, man. I'm just dropping the ball today, y'all. But the information good. Hold on, let me get y'all right quick, man. Golly. You know what? The devil is a liar. He is not gonna stop us from getting this information. We ain't having it. We not having it. Absolutely not. All right, here we go. Let me give you a couple more. We'll go through these. I know they never end, the kid. I know. All right. Isaiah 45, chapter 45, verse 7. Okay. I form the light and I create darkness. I make peace and I create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. I'm going to read that one again. And this is from the prophet Isaiah. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Prophet Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. And Isaiah, the Spirit had to inspire him to say that, because if he would have just stood up and said that, remember context, he's a prophet. People respect what he's saying. Isaiah says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and I create evil. They would have killed that man. He had to say at the end, I, the Lord, do all these things, so people knew it was the Lord saying that, speaking through the mouth of the prophet, because that's a strong statement. What you mean? I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and evil. I, the Lord. So, ladies and gentlemen, according to the book, God's the same yesterday, today, and forever. God make peace and create evil? Interesting. We'll move on, because that verse, some people may think it's just a King James translation issue. That's got to be normal, right? Let's continue. The book of Amos. Amos, one of the minor prophets in the Bible, but this verse is very strong. Amos chapter 3, verse 6, he says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city and the Lord hath not done it? Okay. Look, don't get mad at me. Amos said it, famous Amos. Shall there be evil in a city and the Lord hath not done it? Amos is asking a rhetorical question. If a bunch of bad stuff going on, that's the Lord too. And I'm like, wow, really? I know it's getting out of hand. Let's do a couple more, wrap it up. Lamentations, such an appropriate title for this particular book. People was crying so much they wrote a book about it. Lamentations chapter 3, verses 37 and 38. Rhetorical question. Who can speak and have it happen? if the Lord has not decreed it? Is it not from the mouth of the Most High that both calamity and good things come? Hmm. Interesting. 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 Who can speak and have it happen if the Lord has not decreed it? And is it not from the mouth of the Most High that both calamity and good things come? Amos is chapter 3, verse 6. Gwen. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. Put a one in the chat if you get my point. If you see where we're going with this, put a one in the chat. Or if you're curious about where we're going, put a one in the chat anyway. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. This is God speaking in Deuteronomy now. This ain't Will Sanders. This ain't the book of Eli with Denzel. This is God. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. See now that even I am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Okay. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So God is telling us right there in the Old Testament, okay, all the way through it. God's the same yesterday, today, and forever, giving you the background about how He really rolls, and says that I kill and I make alive. Dang, God killing people out here? Yes, actually, yes. I wound and I heal, and neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all see why we needed Jesus, because God was not playing with nobody, okay? Let's move on to Job, chapter 2, verse 10. Okay, chapter 2, verse 10. It says, this is a great one. This is also from Job. So just understand when you start hearing stuff like this and you understand, you are going to need to come back to Job chapter 2, verse 10 to really get a good night's sleep tonight. It says right here, again, rhetorical question. Job, oh, Bible got some rhetorical questions in it. It says right here in Job, shall we accept good from God and not trouble? Do you notice Job never even blamed the devil? And the Bible tells us that the devil was the one whooping Job. But and Job literally said, shall we accept good from God and not trouble? God is responsible for all of it. That's just how the Lord rolls. Here's the last one, Proverbs chapter 16, verse 4. The Lord hath made all things, all, not some, all things for himself. Yes, even the wicked for the day of evil. Okay, so you just got to understand those verses might not make a lot of sense until you really unpack it. Okay. Now, we talked about the law of vibration. Keep those verses in mind. We talked about the law of vibration. We talked about the law of circulation. And now we are going to talk about the law of mind, or as the Hermetic tradition would call it, the law of mentalism. The law of mentalism. Now, listen, a lot of people will. That's woo-woo. That's old school. Listen. The Hermetic tradition, the law of mentalism, it comes from Egypt. It's one of the oldest laws ever discussed by humans. It was introduced to the world in Egypt over 5,000 years ago. And just so you know, for my people that are trying to put it all together, Egypt is situated directly on the African continent. Egypt is in Africa, okay? And Egypt is a serious place of significance for any serious Christian or Bible scholar. But why? Why, Will? Why does what happened in Egypt, why would it even be relevant? Because with the exception of Jerusalem, which is located in Israel, which is also situated between Africa and Asia in the Middle East, with the exception of Jerusalem, no other place is mentioned or referenced more than Egypt in the Bible. None. Egypt has over 700 Bible verses that reference Egypt directly, indirectly, or Egyptian people, and Jerusalem has over 800. And that's to be expected, okay? That is to be expected. So the number one and number two places ever referenced in the Bible is Israel, which is where Jerusalem is, obviously, and Egypt, which is in Africa. If you don't understand Egypt, you don't understand the majority of the Bible, which is why a lot of these verses will not make sense for you, especially in the Old Testament and the Torah. It won't make sense. It just won't make sense, okay? Now, to understand that, okay, with that amount of Bible material directly or indirectly referencing Egypt, Egyptian cultures, Africans, African culture, and things of that nature, okay, just understand. Here's a verse in the Old Testament that will really, hopefully, open your mind to accept the teaching I'm about to give you on the law of mentalism, which is a biblical concept, and it's a biblical concept that came from Africa via Egypt prior to the writing of the Bible. Hosea said this, Hosea chapter 11, verse 1. When Israel was a child, then I loved him. I called my son out of Egypt. Yeah, you got a 400-year block where the whole Bible took place in Egypt, which is in Africa. Yes, even Ethiopia is in Genesis. The Garden of Eden is in Ethiopia. Don't get me started. All right, here we go. I'm going to read that verse again, and it references the two places geographically mentioned by far more than any other places in the Bible. When Israel was a child, then I loved him, and I called my son out of Egypt. Hosea. Yeah, Hosea chapter 11, verse 1. Now, New Testament folk, we don't really deal with the Old Testament. Oh, yes, you do. But let me just reference it anyway. And it says right here in the book of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 15, and was there until the death of Herod that it might be fulfilled. It's coming around to fulfillment, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, out of Egypt I have called my son. So just know there's a lot of stuff from Egypt that made it into the Bible, like a ton, okay? And the law of mentalism is one of those things that you have to understand is all through the Bible, but they didn't do a really, really big exposition on it because so many people from the Bible are scholars and prophets, and the majority of Israel was in about 400 years on lockdown in Egypt. They knew so much about Egyptian culture already, they didn't feel the need to put it in there. But again, it says right there, what does it say in 2 Timothy? Study should show thyself approved. So we need to study. And the law of mentalism is one of those things that you have to understand. You also hear referenced as the law of mind. This is a biblical concept, ladies and gentlemen. It is a biblical concept that predates the actual codifying of the scrolls and the stories that went into the Bible as a book by over 3,000 years before that, okay? But this information was common knowledge in the Bible days, which is why it's referenced so often, okay? But they did not want the heathens, as they would say, to access this information. Therefore, a lot of the Bible verses are written in a type of code using one word in substitution for another word. But if you don't have the key, it's hard to unlock it to really dig deep into some of the deeper levels. And let me just say, you can never truly exhaust any book or any verse in the Bible. There's infinite numbers of translations and interpretations and knowledge and rhema wisdom and logos that you can pull from it. I'm just giving you just a little surface level to make sense for this prosperity abundance challenge, because you can never achieve true prosperity and abundance until you understand the mental alignment, the spiritual alignment, and the physical alignment. You have to understand all three planes of existence, physical, mental, and spiritual, to get any type of consistent manifestation. Now, let's go to those verses again. And I just want you, suffice it to say, let us take the law of mentalism, which is the law of mind. I'm going to tell you how powerful this law is. The law of mind, or the law of mentalism, the fact that your thoughts do create your reality to a very, very large degree, as said Job and every other Bible scholar ever, and every prophet, and Jesus said it, as a man thinketh in his heart. David said it, and everybody said it. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The power of your mind creates so much of your reality, but you got to take a lot of personal responsibility for that. So much personal responsibility that you have to take that Christ literally said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. He literally was taking full responsibility and didn't even need to take full responsibility because we were cutting up, but still took full responsibility. Moses took full responsibility, and that's why he never made it into the promised land. A lot of people don't know that. Moses got to see the promised land. He never got to enter it. He took full responsibility for his actions, good and bad. And you got to take full responsibility for your actions. But the law of mentalism is so powerful. The government knows this, which is why the word government comes from the word govern, like to control, ment, which is from the same root word as the word mental. The government is simply here to control your mental, to control your mentality, to control your mind. Okay? The government is created to control your mental states. The government knows that you have far more power than you understand. So they're telling you what they're doing. They're like, hey, we are the government. We are literally here to help you. No, they're here to tell you what to think. Because if they can tell you what to think and not how to think, which is think for yourself, and they can teach you what to think and tell you who to vote for, and you just got to go with it, or tell you how to spend your money, or tell you that network marketing is a scam or a scheme, and you should get a good 9 to 5 forever. Ladies and gentlemen, just know, yeah, the government's here to control your ability to create your reality through the law of mentalism, which is a scriptural, scientific, and like it or not, secular concept that the first time was taught was over 5,000 years ago. But again, out of Egypt, we will call, God said, out of Egypt, I will call my son. We also going to call a whole lot of important information from Egypt as well. Just the Kemetic traditions, incredible across the board. Again, Africa, what more can I say? It's a fantastic place. Now, here's the thing. The law of mentalism makes it sense. If we were to take the word Lord, okay, or lex, L-E-X, Latin, if we take the word Lord and translate it into lex, which would be law. This is why the Bible used to be in Latin, but they never taught anybody Latin but the Rome and the Vatican. They didn't want people to read this stuff in the proper language. If you take the word law and replace the word Lord in the following verses, it makes a lot more sense. It's a code. Okay, it's a code that I'm pretty sure most of you have never heard before. If you have, it's probably from us because we want you to win. We want you to have a beautifully full life and understand. Yeah, the Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic. Exactly. So they had access to the Aramaic original language text, the ancient Chaldean words, which carried over into the Aramaic language, and also the Greek, which it was in as well, in the Hebrew. But they just gonna put it in Latin and never teach you that because Latin's a dead language, which is why they translated it that reason. That's a whole nother conversation. Now here we go. If we take the fear of the Lord, but we replace the word Lord with law, specifically the law of mind. Okay, it says right here, the fear of the law is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. See, Jesus is still referenced in the verse. God is still referenced in the verse in the second half of it. In the first part, they're letting you know right there, the fear of the law is the beginning of wisdom. This is why Job accidentally messed over himself. The things that he feared came upon him and wrecked his life temporarily. He was using the law of mind, the ancient Hermetic tradition, the law of mentalism, which is similar to the law of vibration, the law of circulation, but it's even a higher vibration law than that. Job was using the law of mind to create the wrong stuff. He was thinking about things he was scared of, and those things came about. We talked about this with every election that we've ever had. Okay, we talked about this with all kind of personal things in your life. The fear of the law is the beginning of wisdom, not the fear of the Lord per se. You should not be scared of the Lord. Jesus loves you. Jesus literally loves you, like real talk. And that's just the truth. The fear of the law, however, it's a code. The law is something that you should be afraid of in the beginning because you realize that you've been using the law of mind to create every good and bad experience in your life. You keep thinking about bad stuff gonna happen. Why you think all the rappers get shot and go to jail? That's all they thinking about, writing them lyrics. Why you think Taylor Swift was in 97 consecutive broken relationships where she hated her ex-boyfriend before Travis Kelce? And why? Because all the music was about breaking up. All of it. It was crazy. Why you think Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce? Because even when Beyonce was single, she was still singing songs about irreplaceable, to the left, you don't need no man. She was still singing all of that stuff so naturally. When the young ladies of this generation are singing all the Beyonce lyrics, of course you're going to have a bunch of broken homes, divorces, and single mamas. You've been singing that stuff for 20 years, 30 years. Of course. Of course. What are you talking about? Of course, because you can't say nothing you didn't think first. So when you're singing those lyrics, when you're drinking that liquid death water and all that type of stuff, you're bringing this stuff into your reality because you simply didn't know about the law of mentalism, the law of mind, the scriptural concept, because it had never been taught. Okay, it had never been taught. But you got to really be careful how you teach and make sure the stuff is accurate because there's another verse that says, woe be unto you teachers as well. So those of us have to hold ourselves to a higher standard. Can't just tell you anything. We got to make sure we are spot on with the science and the scripture. Otherwise, that ain't good. Okay. Now, in Proverbs, remember that verse is really confusing too? The fear of the Lord prolongs days, but the years of the wicked shall be shortened. Okay, it's not the fear of the Lord per se. The original text would be more likened unto the fear of the law prolongs days, the fear of the law of mind. If you know that when you think about something with a certain amount of emotion and a certain amount of feeling with it, if you know that you're going to bring that to pass, you'll literally die faster if you're thinking about negative stuff all the time. If you're stressed out and you hate going to work and that's all you're thinking about, do you know the heart attack rate goes up by 30% on Mondays? You can look that stuff up yourself. I first heard that from Les Brown, but the number's actually accurate. The heart attack rate goes up by 30% on the first day people got to go to work. Really think about that because they're stressed out. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. If you keep thinking that, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to work. I don't want to be here. You're going to die. And then your brain goes, boom, you got it. You don't have to be there no more. You never have to go to work again. Or you'll have a heart attack, go to the hospital. You'll be in the hospital for 6 weeks and you still don't have to go to work. So you got exactly what you thought about, but you didn't understand the law. You didn't fear it enough. It's like the law of electricity. Electricity is very helpful, but you bet not take a knife and stick it in a socket. The law of electricity will cook you just like it'll cook your food. Okay, so you got to understand we're talking about the law of mentalism throughout large swaths of Bible history. Here's another one. In the fear of the Lord is strong confidence. Okay, in the fear of the law is strong confidence. If you fear a gun, but you learn how to use the gun and you learn how to use it to protect yourself or hunt food or something like that, and you respect it, fear it, the Lord, it's not the Lord per se. Okay, when you really understand the Rhema level of this, all right? Excuse me, when you understand that, the fear of the Lord is strong confidence. When you understand, Will, you mean to tell me that based upon the secular physical world, based upon science by some of the top scientific minds in history, like Dr. Bruce Lipton, Dr. Emoto, and many others, and many research papers we've quoted over the last several days. I always give you sources. And on the spiritual tradition of the scriptures, which are undisputable from my point of view, you mean to tell me I can literally be confident and create the reality that I want to see based on my understanding of the law of mind, the law of my thought, the law of mentalism, and the law is so well known and so powerful that the government literally was created to control the thoughts of the people? Yes. That's what they call a governor. Yes. How many people are familiar with cars? How many people know that there's something on most cars called a governor? Tell me in the chat if you know what a governor does on a car. It's all around you, okay? But we too busy thinking and talking about the wrong stuff in people to not understand this stuff that really can change your life. Let's see, who knows what a governor does on a car? Let's see. We'll go on to another verse and we'll wrap this one up and dig into the align and how. Thank you. It caps off the top speed. It's going to limit you. The governor limits your potential. What God really built you to do. The governor is going to prevent you from doing that. The government's going to prevent you from doing that. The words are in your face. But study to show thyself approved. Right. All right. Here we go, Isaiah chapter 45. This verse threw some people off. I form the light and I create darkness. I make peace and I create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Ladies and gentlemen, I suffice to you, I present to you today that on a Rhema level, on a deeper level of esoteric scriptural knowledge, the word Lord there can be replaced with the word law. I form the light and I create darkness. I make peace and I create evil. I, the law, do all these things. I, the law of mind. I, the law, do all these things. The law of mind, listen, it hurt Job and it can hurt you. It saved Job and it can save you. Just understand, you got to start to really control your thoughts. The Bible has never been truer when it says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Okay, now we're going to move on to Amos. Y'all remember this one. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city and the Lord hath not done it? Let's rephrase that. Shall there be evil in a city and the law has not done it? The law of mind, the law of mentalism from the ancient Hermetic tradition, which made it into the Bible from Egypt, The law, shall there be evil in the city, and the law has not done it. It's people thinking about doing bad things that creates the bad things. It is the law of mind, but the wicked will be dealt with, as other verses say. But it is the law of mind. You're creating your own reality, 100% of the time, every single day. Lamentations. Who can speak and have it happen if the Lord has not decreed it? Is it not from the mouth of the most high vibration, the most high that both calamities and good things come? The highest vibration, the highest speed, the most powerful vibration is your thought. We've already proved this scientifically and secularly, spiritually and scripturally. It lines up as well. Who can speak and have it happen? Who can speak and have it happen if the law of mind has not decreed it? You can't say nothing you didn't think about first. Even if you thought about it subconsciously for a split second, you can't say it if you didn't think it. And then the law of vibration is going to translate to your vocal cords, and your vocal cords vibrate to make sound. We talked about that yesterday. Does it work with any translation? It's going to work with most, because the King James Version, although it is some places translationally in error, because the King James, they didn't have Google Translate back then. They didn't have the ability, as we do, to study to get the actual original words in the Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic, and then have those accurately translated, and do research on the context to really figure out historically and in this particular place where those events were taking place, what was happening? What was that culture like in Judea, 3,000 years ago? What was the culture like in the ancient Kemet tradition 5,000 years ago that made that so powerful that the Israelites picked it up in Egypt, brought it to Israel, and was like, yo, we keeping this in the book because this is powerful stuff. The Egyptians ran a whole empire with this. We need this. Yeah, so it should, but again, just my only homework I would recommend, even you don't have to go to Bible college like I did. You can just read the Bible cover to cover. I do recommend the King James Version. I do recommend reading the Bible cover to cover. Very difficult to do, time wise, energy wise, effort wise. Don't worry about studying it all until you've read it cover to cover, because until you've read it cover to cover, you've never ever heard every word that came from the mouth of God. You'll always be missing something. If you've never read every verse, every page at least once, even in your subconscious mind, you never put every word that came from the mouth of God in your brain. You've never put it all there. You're missing even two words. You're missing something there. And it says faith come by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. So some people have trouble manifesting the faith to dictate how they want their life to go. And it says, according to your faith shall it be done unto you. But faith come by hearing, and hearing come by the word of God. But a lot of people have never ingested or eaten the entire word of God. I've read the Bible cover to cover 5 times. I'm working on number 6 right now. It is a work, honestly, but God will bless you beyond what you can possibly comprehend by undertaking that good work. Okay. So it says right here in Deuteronomy, see now that even I am he, there is no God with me. So it's already trying to point you in the right direction. I kill, I make alive, I wound, and I heal, and neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Ladies and gentlemen, these are all references to the Lord, the law of mind, and how it goes both ways. It's a law. The law of gravity could fly a plane, but it can also fly you off a building and you'll hit the ground. The last one we'll do is Proverbs chapter 16, verse 4. The Lord has made all things for himself. Yes, even the wicked for the day of evil. It says right there, the law. The law hath made all things for himself. The law creates so much. Your mind creates so much. This is the only way you can ever reconcile verses with science, scripture, spirituality, and the secular world of as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You have done all of it. You're $1 million earner, not unless you think so. A translator Bible. Lucretia, honestly, when we were in Bible college back in the day, we had to buy actual books, like literal textbooks. One of them was a concordance. One of them, there are several books that actually translate every word, but it is still exceptionally difficult. What I would recommend for my first time Bible readers, read it all the way through, and then the second time, then start to really do word study and start to really break it down and unpack it. And again, it's something I highly recommend people do. One of the best things about network marketing for me is that it retired me from my full-time job. So I never care if people think network marketing is a scam or a scheme. I understand the law of mind, and now you do too. And if you think it in your heart that you're a top earner, you're a top earner. If you think it in your heart you're overly abundant and prosperous and money's going to fall out the sky right into your pocket, guess what? If you really believe that, then it will happen for you, even if it takes time. But it says right there. So now that you understand the law of mind, the law of mentalism, the law of vibration, the law of circulation are all proven, not just scientifically, but scripturally, spiritually, and secularly, you'll see that your real assignment is to prove these laws for yourself in your everyday life. Best advice I could ever give, okay? Prove these laws for yourself in your everyday life. Will, what does this have to do with essential oils? I'm so glad you asked. Here we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be good. It's going to be good. According to the International Journal of Molecular Science in 2024, they did some studies on neuroprotective properties, talking about essential oils of the caliber and quality that we would have here at GoDesign and HBN, the Green Organics family of companies. Essential oils will contain certain chemical compounds which will protect the neurons in your brain from damage, okay? And certain essential oils, according to, and this is a very recent study, 2024, I told you science is catching up with spirituality. The International Journal of Molecular Science have shown that the essential oil constituents, the stuff that's already naturally in there, just the way God made them, can modulate microglial activity, reducing neuroinflammation and supporting brain health. Essential oils literally, bergamot, lavender, many others mentioned in the studies, are literally making your brain stronger and protecting your brain from damage. Why? Because your brain is the organ that your mind, your mental state uses to interact with your body in the physical world. So the more damaged or the more inflamed your brain is, the less your mind, your mentality, the less you can manifest and create what you really want to see in the world, because your brain is operating at a far less ability than what God gave it. Okay, here's another set of studies from this is from Psychology Today, the journal from 2023, but also a similar article and studies were referenced from Yale University Scientific Department from Yale in 2011. And it says that inhaling essential oils, not just talking about the topical application, but inhaling them actually is directly connected to the limbic system of the brain, and that's the part of the brain region involved in feelings, emotion, and memory. Now that connection, okay, according to the article, that connection, it says that certain essential oils influence your cognitive function. Certain essential oils make your brain run better. They make when your mind, when you want to have a thought, when you want to activate the law of mind, essential oils will help you have a far more powerful manifestation experience. And we're going to continue to go on with that too. The Institute of Research and Innovation at the University of Plymouth, and this is going to be in the United Kingdom, as well as the University of Nottingham of Robin Hood fame. The University of Nottingham, also in the United Kingdom, had some articles and studies they did in 2020, and it talked about how the chronic stress negatively impacts brain function and how essential oils were shown to reduce the brain stress and in turn improve the brain's cognitive function, thought speed, processing, and everything. The law of mind basically makes you strong, makes you a better user of the law of mind. And essential oils protect your brain from further damage, okay? Supporting neurotransmitters as well. Essential oils have been shown to positively influence neurotransmitter activity. Okay, essential oils molecules are literally interacting with the brain on a mechanical level to not just improve your sleep and improve your mood, but to support and improve cognitive function. Okay, cognitive function. Now, Will, why is that so relevant to the law of mind we just talked about? Well, I'm glad you asked, because in James chapter 1, verse 6, here's a verse. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. Another translation of the same verse, James 1:6 says, but when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. Another translation of the same verse says, but when you ask him, be sure that your faith is in God alone. Do not waver, for a person with divided loyalty is unsettled as a wave of the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind. And just one more time for emphasis, we'll do the ESV. But let him ask in faith with no doubting. because one who doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring this thing full circle back to day one and day two. Water, ladies and gentlemen, is currency. Water is measured in current. Stay out of the ocean if there's a strong current, okay? But time is also currency because time is measured in terms of current events. So much so that the future does not exist because it is not here. And the past does not exist because it is no longer here. And when the past existed, it was the present. And when the future gets here into existence, it will also be the present. So current events is the only time you will ever actually have. That's another thing there. Money is also measured in terms of currency. This is why when you go to the airport, when we went to Trinidad and Tobago and met with Derek and Lynette and Eve and Samantha and the team out there, those great people, we went to the airport, had a big booth that said currency exchange. Okay, you can exchange money because it's also measured in terms of currency, and energy and electricity, as well as your physical effort, is also measured in current. And that's why you see AC and DC, alternating or direct current, referring to electricity. So water, time, money, and energy is all types of currency. But because your thoughts are a rate of vibration, your thoughts are a type of currency, your thoughts are actually electrical signals from your brain, okay, and nervous system. That's why when your body has so much electricity, electrical current in it. This is why when people have a heart attack or die, the EMS will get the paddles. They're so clear. They put the paddles on. It'll electrocute people and they will get back up. Your thoughts, your body's impulses, your body's signals, but thoughts in particular, are also measured in terms of current. And your thoughts are so unique. Like, for example, electricity has a type of current. And then within the current, you can have different types of voltage, 9-volt battery, 12-volt adapter, different types of voltage. Okay. The frequency of the electricity measured in voltage. Okay. You're going to have a certain type of voltage of your thoughts. Your thoughts are going to have a certain type of frequency. Your thoughts have a very unique voltage, which would be, I'm just going to use, they're not the same, but the word frequency is going to be used to the terms of your thought. Now, when you have a steady, focused thought, a steady current thought in the current moment, and it's electricity, it's all the same, and your body's all dang near water. So it's all the word current. When you have a steady, focused thought toward a particular thing, and your thought has a consistent, steady rate of vibration, a steady frequency, if you will, the Bible tells you that if you ask in faith with nothing wavering, all currency has a wave. The water in the ocean has a wave. Even the wind is measured in terms of current. Okay, it's just a strong current. Oof, breeze is measured in terms of current. It says, ask in faith, nothing wavering. You can't have your brain's electrical impulses, your thoughts going between broken, rich, broken, rich, broken, rich. You can't have that. You'll never get rich. You'll just stay what you are or probably get broker because that's what you're seeing every day. So that's going to saturate your subconscious mind. It says, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind, with no intention, no control. You have to control the current of your thought. That is using the law of mind at its highest peak. And essential oils allow you to have a stronger mind that is not damaged by a lot of these environmental factors, aluminum, fluoride, and everything else that we talked about. All the scientific articles we showed you that the essential oils are helping you repair and prevent your brain from having neurological damage that will cause you to have weak frequencies. It will cause you to literally have weak thoughts, not from a standpoint of what you're thinking about, but a weak thought as far as the amount of electricity and power that you can put out into the atmosphere, which is wind, which is measured in current, to make things happen on a molecular level. And things will start to assemble organically and show up in your physical experience. Period, point blank, end of story. Well, it's impossible for money to just show up in my physical experience. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesus told the disciples, it wasn't even him. He could have did it, but then when it happened, people would say, oh, he did it because it was Jesus. He told the disciples, go catch that fish and open the fish that's going to have money in its mouth. Money can manifest, abundance can manifest from everywhere, but you got to have the belief and not doubt. Corey found a $20 bill at the QT. It can come from anywhere. Okay, not just your network marketing business. Most of you tomorrow will wake up tomorrow with more money in your HBN or GoToSign accounts than you had today, and you might not have sponsored anybody today. Such is the nature of residual income. I love it. Okay, but it says again, but let him ask in faith with no doubting. Okay, for one who doubts is like a wave of the sea. It's too much back and forth, and uh, you're not having a consistent, strong signal going from your brain. Now, here's the last concept we'll do before wrap up. We really ran long tonight, and I'm really sorry about that. But hopefully, the information is really good for you. Yeah, negative thoughts, toxic food, EMF. There's so much. Thank you, Eileen. There's so much stuff that is always attacking your brain 24/7 to prevent you from having any power of signal. Now, hear me out. A lot of people think, oh, well, it's impossible for the brain to be a receiving station. Well, if you read Think and Grow Rich, or the original version, The Laws of Success in 16 Lessons by Napoleon Hill, paid for by Andrew Carnegie, you would understand that the mind is a transmitting and receiving station. Now, when people say this is impossible, they simply don't understand the mind, and that's okay. They truly don't understand the law of mentalism. I am on a laptop and a phone at the same time. And there are people all around in even different countries who are currently seeing a signal going from a $5,000 or $6,000 computer and a $2,000 cell phone. It is literally sending you signals to your phone and your laptop, picking up those signals and translating them into an image that you can see. Now, here is my question about people who think that the mind cannot do such things. What is a more complicated piece of machinery? What is more complex, the brain or a phone? What is by far a more complicated, more mysterious, more powerful piece of machinery, more valuable piece of machinery? A smartphone or the brain? Your brain can literally, and does all the time, send signals out literally into the atmosphere. These signals are literally picked up by atomic particles. The same way you can control water and the molecular structure of water, you can literally control the atomic structure of all the atoms that are all around you in the ether. Now, here's what happens. When you start having a thought, you have to keep the same thought focused with a strong, rate of vibrate, a strong frequency. And alcohol and cigarettes and junk food, any meal really, is going to always bring the power level down. This is why ancient Bible scholars always fasted at various times. The Bible says, and I think it might be in Matthew, it might be in another book, it says when you fast, you should go into your closet and pray. It doesn't say if you fast. It says when. There were certain times when you look at the context that were prescribed fasting periods because your body only has 100% energy. That's all it has. Thank you, Alan. Yeah, the Bible has fast days. Your body only has 100% energy. When you eat a big meal, your body has to spend anywhere from 30 to 70% of its energy to go toward digestion, processing food, and excretion. And that's why you get sleepy after you eat a big meal. Your brain, your power level goes down some. Okay, right, yeah, especially plenty fast days. If you're Jewish, yeah. And it goes down some. Okay, you just got to understand it's how it works. So now a lot of you are seeing the reason why your prayers aren't answered and why cigarettes, alcohol, junk food, even though we eat them or drink them or do whatever, just understand the cause or what happens. And that's why they're so detrimental. Now look at that word, detrimental. Are you seeing it different now? Does the word detrimental just pop out? Okay, from the Latin root word detrimentum, it means harm or loss or damage. The prefix de means down or away, implying a negative action. The word terere from Latin as well means to rub or wear down. Reduction, harm, diminishing value. Certain things are detrimental to what? Your mind. They're detrimental to your ability to use the law of mentalism to create your own reality. And luckily for us, it doesn't happen instantly. Okay, because if it did, if I said rocket launcher blowing up your house right now, you just thought about it, but a rocket launcher did not blow up your house, but you thought about it. Well, I don't want to think about that. But if I say it again, you'll think about it. Rocket launcher blowing up your house, but it won't blow up your house. Why? Because there is a divine delay. There is a delay, which is for our benefit, between the time you have a thought and the physical manifestation of that thing. The faster that you want it to manifest and come about, and this is according, again, this is the scriptural formula. All right, that it is you. This you don't even need the Bible class. Well, you probably do the Bible class next year if you're into this type of stuff. But this is more than enough for you, by the way. Yeah, intermittent fasting is an incredible, incredible process. I highly recommend it. But do your research, talk to your healthcare professional. Don't do none of that stuff without, you don't want to hurt yourself. All right. But here's the point. Those things, a lot of things harm your mind in the same way that essential oils help your mind. The essential oils help your brain health because with essential oils, and this is why, again, essential oils are mentioned in the Bible over 700 times, 600 times, depending on the translation. Essential, y'all don't notice everybody in the Bible is getting anointed all the time if they was going to do something special? David, you better get anointed before you go try to, do some stuff. Saul, you better get anointed before you start trying to be king. Look, Jesus even got anointed, and he spent a lot of time in water as well with the River Jordan. He had to get baptized. Water has a certain vibration. Water has a certain frequency. We can talk about this stuff all day. Just hear me out. Essential oils help your brain maintain a steady, strong frequency. Align is literally going to help you not just detox your cells, it is going to literally help you align the physical, mental, and spiritual planes of existence. This is why when you eat a big meal, you're all sluggish, your brain power level go low. You've seen the Align video. You go ahead and take Align, put it on the soles of your feet. Just a few minutes later, your cells are back rolling like you never ate junk food, because it's going to bring your power levels back up, because you got to have your desire levels of what you want aligned physically, mentally, and spiritually. Align is the perfect oil to align your goals with your physical actions. Now, you do have to take action, but that's beside the point, okay? So much essential oils are mentioned in the Bible so much, we didn't even mention, that's not even including wine. Did you know that technically speaking, wine is the fermented concentrated extract of the grape? It's just the wine is the essential oil of the grape. It's grape juice, you ferment it, boom, wine. Wine is technically the essential oil of the grape. Olive oil, which is mentioned in the Bible too. Essential oils have a lock in step relationship with scripture, and science is just catching up. Science is just catching up to the sheer amount of essential oils, not just sandalwood, not just myrrh, not just spikenard, not just frankincense, not just olive oil, not just wine from grapes. Essential oils are throughout the Bible, and you ever notice miracles used to happen a lot more back then, but essential oils were an integral part of all spiritual traditions from around the world that I've been lucky enough to research and study. But again, because I'm a Christian, the Bible is my book of choice to extrapolate on these things. But you can use any spiritual text of your choice. We got Hindus on our team who we love, Muslims on our team which we love. Every single religion or spiritual text has texts that you can read and see these just enormous similarities between them all. Okay. But that being said, you want a strong mind, okay? A strong mind to manifest your physical reality. And like David said, see the goodness of God in the land of the living. Look, David said right here in Psalms chapter 27, verse 13, I had fainted unless I had believed to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. You can have it now. Okay. Now, tomorrow, we're going to tie in the spiritual, the scriptural, and the scientific with the secular, talking about exactly what you need to do and how you need to do it. And real quick, as we wrap up, put a 1 in the chat if you enjoyed this information. Again, I apologize that it ran a little bit long. Shout out to MJ for getting the powers back connected, because this is all about to die. Let me give you the Align protocol right quick for days 3 and 4. So you're going to be doing this protocol for the next 2 days. And yes, this video will be uploaded to YouTube as soon as we're done. And it's going to be in the Facebook Live group as well. And Align, again, is for centering and balance. Now, in the morning when you wake up, you want to apply 1 to 2 drops of Align on the solar plexus. So notice this is going to be a different order of where at on your body than it was previously. Again, okay, and we talked to all the essential oil doctors and gurus and everybody else to get this stuff dialed in for y'all. Apply 1 or 2 drops of a line on the solar plexus, just above the navel. So maybe a couple inches above the navel. And when you're doing that, you want to breathe. Okay, you want to breathe. No, you're not using clear. Tonight will be the last night you use clear, Gwen. After tonight, you should be good to go. Remember that Abraham believed God and his faith was accounted to him for righteousness. So anything that we have to clear out, as long as you believe God, as long as you believe that the spirituality, the science, and the research and the scripture all is the same. I've been giving you the same stuff just in different ways the whole week. You're good. Everybody gets to be a friend of God when they believe God. And Abraham told us that. And God even says that I'm going to continue this tradition down into the children of the children of the children. And everybody came from Adam and Eve anyway. Genetically, we all got Adam and Eve DNA, like it or not. So since we all have Adam and Eve DNA, that all applies to us. You believe God, and your faith will be accounted for righteousness. And if you wonder what did God say that you need to believe, specifically in the New Testament is referring to 3 John chapter 1, verse 2. I'll let you look that one up, but it's a great thought about what God wants for your life, okay? So you wake up in the morning, 1 or 2 drops of a line on the solar plexus, and you're going to be breathing deeply, eyes closed, visualizing alignment with what you want and the amount of action that you're getting ready to take and things of that nature. And then you're going to be visualizing just the alignment within, the balance of it all. Okay, and that's what you're doing in the morning. And that, again, correct. And so now we move on to 4 hours after you woke up. Okay, 4 hours after you woke up, you're gonna have 1 or 2 drops of Align, and when you put it in your hand, you can inhale it, but don't really rub it all in too good. Then you have to get another 1 or 2 drops and put it right on your heart center, right here, not over here, but right around that chakra region, right around in the middle of your heart. And now that time, if you wake up at 6, you'll be doing this around 10. Set alarms on your phone, and you're going to spend 5 minutes in quiet reflection. I don't care if you have to go in the bathroom and close the door. I don't care if you got to go in your car and close the door. Spend 5 minutes. You can set an alarm on your phone in quiet reflection, and you're really going to be sensing the actual alignment between your mind, your body, and your spirit. This is all happening on a thought vibrational level, and follow these directions. You're going to be making the magic happen, okay? Now, 4 hours after that, should be around the afternoon time at that point, you're going to put 1 or 2 drops of Align on each wrist. You're going to just rub it in very, very lightly, but then you're going to inhale deeply, and you're going to allow a sense of harmony to permeate, okay? Harmony is a very important word. I highly recommend you look it up, but you know what it means, but when you look it up, it just gives it a deeper level. You want to really notice it didn't say force it. It said just allow a sense of harmony to wash over you just for 5 minutes or so after you deeply inhale the Align oil from your wrist, okay? And then 4 hours after that, okay, you're going to take 2 or 3 drops of Align, 1 or 2 drops of Align, going to rub it in, put on the back of your neck, okay? And now that is when you're going to be, and you're going to inhale it as well, and that's going to be your 20-minute block, okay? If you have a diffuser, you can diffuse 2 or 3 drops of Align and put 1 or 2 drops on the back of your neck. But if you're going to do diffuser, you need to do more than 2 drops, at least 3 to 5. And you want to have that diffuser going. And that's when you're going to be really meditating. That's when you pray. That's when you have your journaling and you're writing down. Again, an important thing for this prosperity challenge is it can be challenging sometimes to find that private time. It can be challenging sometimes to set the alarms on your phone. Oh my goodness, it's been 4 hours. Hold on, boss, I gotta be right back. Gotta go to the bathroom. Gotta go out to my car. And to do these things in order at the time. And why 4 hours? Because it takes about 4 hours for the essential oil to process through the liver, and it's time for some new essential oils introduced to the system. Because I could explain all of that. We'd be on the phone for another hour. Okay. And what you really want to do in the evening time, if you're going to be up an additional 4 hours at least, you want to do that same process again once every 4 hours until you go to bed. This is going to be for days 3, which is Wednesday, and day 4, which is Thursday. And then we're going to be doing prosperity Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, finishing all on Monday. And when you're writing down, I want you to notice what you notice. When you're journaling, focus on any testimonials, anything that happened that day, any realizations you had, any emotional things that came up, any positive things that happened in your life, any type of things that would feel like alignment or balance to you, as well as any testimonies about prosperity, abundance, making money, saving money, getting free stuff. Meditate, focus, and put that in your journal. Remember, that's tomorrow night. And remember, if you're going to be up another 4 hours, you need to do another session of it, okay? Also, remember water intake. Water intake, plenty water. I recommend at least a half a gallon a day of either filter water or spring water or smart water, something like that. I would recommend that much because water is going to be so valuable to support the body in processing and integrating the effects of the essential oils. You can drink water with fulvic acid in there, lemon essential oil in there, but at least some of your water needs to be just clear, pure, programmable water. And you always pray over your drinks and you pray over your food and send positive intentions and thoughts towards your meals and towards your drinks because we showed, according to science and spirituality and scripture, we showed that your thoughts, your prayers, your intention, your words, your thoughts toward your meals and your beverages literally change the atomic structure, change the molecular structure on an atomic level. It's one of the most fascinating studies ever. And these protocols, and again, remain focus on your intention each day, whether it's clearing, whether it's aligning, getting things lined up so you can, really get what you want, and or manifesting prosperity or abundance. And the oils are really just going to be supportive tools to help you achieve those. Okay, so that's what we got, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate y'all. I know it's a little bit long on this one. Tomorrow will be shorter. We'll be doing some more incredible knowledge for you on tomorrow. The Facebook Live is going to be earlier in the day because I have a prior obligation at 8 o'clock that evening. So I'm going to do the Facebook Live at some point during the day. But the recording will be there for you. So even if you don't have time to watch it until 8, you'll still be able to watch it on YouTube or in the Facebook Live, our private Facebook Live group for all our Green Organics team members. Okay, so y'all have a good night. God bless. Love y'all. Can't wait to see y'all in Orlando. Get those last few tickets out the way. We're going to book this venue probably tomorrow, and I'll have some more information on the event. But it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. All right. Y'all have a good night and God bless. Thank y'all so much.